Measurement. So what about measurement? Note here please now, in Photoshop CS6, 3D functionality is part of Photoshop Extended, and all features in Photoshop Extended are part of Photoshop, and Photoshop doesn't have a separate Extended offering. And what about measurement? By the way, using the Photoshop measurement feature, you can measure any area defined with a ruler tool or with a selection tool, and including irregular areas selected with a lasso and quick select or magic wand tools. And you can also compute the height and width area and parameter or track measurements of one image or multiple images, by the way. And the measurement data is recorded in the measurement log panel, and you can customize, by the way, the measurement log columns and sort data within columns and export data from the log to a tab-delimited Unicode text file. And so what about measurement scale? Measurement scale. Setting a measurement scale sets a specified number of pixels in the image equal to a number of scale units, by the way, such as inches or millimeters or microns. And once you have created a scale, you can measure, by the way, areas and receive calculations and log results in the selected scale units. And also you can create multiple measurement scale presets. Also, only one scale can be used in a document at a time. And what about scale markers? Scale markers, by the way, you can place scale markers on an image to display the measurement scale. And the scale markers can appear with or without a caption displaying measurement scale units. And what about set the measurement scale? What about set the measurement scale? By the way, you can use the ruler tool to set the measurement scale for a document, and you can create measurement scale presets for frequently used measurement scales, and the presets are added, by the way, to the image and analysis and the set measurement scale submenu. And the current measurement scale for a document is checked in the submenu and appears in the info panel. Note here please now, and be careful. Measurement scale is set automatically for DICOM files, and should to see DICOM files. And you should to choose image, then choose analysis, then select set measurement scale, then select default to return to the default measurement scale, 1 pixel equal 1 pixel. And how to set measurement scale? How to set measurement scale? We have many steps. The first step now, open a document. Step number 2, choose image, then choose analysis, then select set measurement scale, then select custom. And the ruler tool is automatically selected, and drag the tool to measure a pixel distance in the image or enter a value in the pixel length text box. And by the way, your current tool setting is restored when you close the measurement scale dialog box. Step number 3, you should to enter the logical length and the logical units that you want to set equal to the pixel length. For example, if the pixel length is 50 and you want to set a scale of 50 pixels per micron, you should to enter 1 for logical length and microns for the logical units. Step number 4, click OK in the measurement scale dialog box to set the measurement scale on the document. Step number 5, you should to choose file, then choose save to save the current measurement scale setting with the document. And by the way, to display the scale in the information panel, you should to choose panel options from the panel menu firstly, and then select measurement scale in the status information area. And also, to display the measurement scale at the bottom of the document window, you should to choose show, then select measurement scale from the document window menu. How to create a measurement scale preset? How to create a measurement scale preset? We have 5 steps. Step number 1, open a document firstly. Step number 2, choose image, then choose analysis, then select set measurement scale, then select custom. Step number 3, create a measurement scale. Step number 4, click save preset and name the preset. Step number 5, click OK to continue, and the preset you created is added actually to the image, and then select analysis, then select set measurement scale submenu. How to delete a measurement scale preset? We have steps. Step number 1. Should to choose image firstly, then select analysis, then select set measurement scale, then select custom. Step number 2. Select the preset you want to delete. Step number 3. Select delete preset and click OK. How to use scale markers. How to use scale markers. By the way, measurement scale markers display the measurement scale used in your document, and this is the measurement scale for a document before creating a scale marker. By the way, you can search the marker length. In logical units, by the way, include a text caption indicating the length, and this is the marker and caption color to black or white. How to create a scale marker? How to create a scale marker in Photoshop? We have steps. Step number 1. Should to choose image firstly, then select analysis, then select place scale marker. And step number 2, in the measurement scale marker dialog box, set the following options now. Length. So what's the meaning of length? Length is meaning enter a value to set the length of the scale marker, and the length of the marker in pixels depends on the measurement scale that is currently selected for the document. And what about font? Font is meaning choose the font for the display text. And what about font size? Font size is meaning that it choose the font size for the display text. So what's the meaning of display text? It's meaning select this option to show the logical length and units for the scale marker. And what about text position? Text position is meaning that displays caption above or below the scale marker. And what about color? Color is meaning that the scale marker and caption color to black or white. And number 3, click OK to finalize. And the scale marker, by the way, is placed in the lower left corner of the image, and the marker adds a layer group to the document containing a text layer. And if the display text option is selected and graphic layer, you can use the move tool to move the scale marker, by the way. Or the text tool to edit the caption or change text size or font or color. How to add and delete. I'm so sorry. How to add or replace scale markers. How to add or replace scale markers. By the way, you can place multiple scale markers in a document or replace existing markers. And note here now and be careful. Additional scale markers, by the way, are placed in the same position on the image and can obscure each other depending on their length. And to view an underlying marker, you should turn off the scale marker layer set. We have 3 steps. Step number 1. You should choose image firstly, then select analysis, then select place scale marker. And step number 2, you should click remove or keep. And step number 3, enter setting for a new marker and then click OK. How to delete a scale marker? How to delete a scale marker? We have 3 steps again. By the way, in the first step, in the layers panel, select the measurement scale marker layer group for the scale marker you want to delete. Step number 2, right click the layer group and select delete group from the context menu, and or click the delete layer button. Step number 3, click group and contents. How to perform a measurement? How to perform a measurement? By the way, you can measure using the Photoshop selections tools and ruler tool or count tool, and choose a measurement tool that matches the type of data you want to record in the measurement log. And also you can create a selection area to measure values such as height or width, parameter, area, and pixel gray values, and you can measure one selection or several selections at once. And after that, draw a line with the ruler tool to measure linear distance and angle. After that, you can use the count tool to count items on the image and then record the number of items. And by the way, each measurement measures one or more data points, by the way, and the data points you select determine the information recorded in the measurement log. And data points correspond to the type of tool you are measuring with. And area, parameter, and height and width are available, by the way. Data points for measuring selections, and length and angle are available. Data points for ruler tool measurements. And also you can create, by the way, and save sets of data points for particular types of measurements to speed your workflow. We have 3 steps again. Step number 1, open an existing document. Firstly, Step number 2, choose image, then select analysis, then select set measurement scale and choose a measurement scale preset for the document. Or choose custom and set a custom measurement scale. And measurements are computed, by the way, and recorded in the measurement log using the scale units in effect when a measurement is recorded. And if no measurement scale exists, the default scale is 1 pixel equal 1 pixel. Step number 3. Optional. You have to choose image, then select analysis, then select data points, and do one of the following. You have to choose custom to select data points to measure, and after that you can select an existing data point preset from the submenu. And by the way, in the select data points dialog box, data points are grouped, by the way, according to the measurement tool that can measure them. And the common data points are available for all tools, and they add useful information to the measurement log, such as the name of the file being measured, and the measurement scale, and the data time of the measurement. And by default, by the way, all data points are selected, and you can select a subset of data points for a particular type of measurement, then save the combination as a data point preset. Note here please now, and be careful. When you measure with a particular tool, only the data points associated with that tool are displayed in the log, even if other data points are selected. For example, if you make a measurement with the ruler tool, only the ruler tool data points appear in the measurement log, along with any common data points that are selected. Step number 4. Choose an image feature and measurement tool to match the selected data points, and you should do one of the following again. You should create one or more selections on the image, and you should choose image firstly, then select analysis, then choose ruler tool, or click the ruler tool in the toolbox, and then use the tool to measure the length of an image area. After that, choose image, then choose analysis again, then count tool, or click the count tool in the toolbox, then count items in the image. Step number 5. You have to choose window, then select measurement log to open the measurement log panel. Step number 6. Choose image, then choose analysis, then choose record measurements, or click record measurements in the measurement log panel. Note here please in this point, and be careful. By the way, if your currently selected data points don't correspond to the current measurement tool, and you are asked to select data points for that tool, by the way, and the measurement log has columns for each data point you selected in the measurement data points dialog box, and each measurement you make enters a new row, by the way, of data in the measurement log. And if you measure multiple selected areas on the image, one row, by the way, of data is created in the log containing a summary or cumulative data for all selected areas, and followed by a row of data for each selection area, by the way, and each selection area is listed as a separate feature in the label column of the log and assigned a unique number. And by the way, also you can repeat steps 2 through 6 for a variety of different selections in the same or multiple documents, and the document column in the measurement log reflects the source of the measurement data. So what about measurement data points? Measurement data points. We have many options here now in this point. Angle. The first option, angle. Angle is meaning angle of orientation from 0 to 180 of the ruler tool. And after that, second option, area. Area is meaning that area of selections in square pixels or in separated units according to the current measurement scale, such as square millimeters. And next option, circularity is meaning for BI, area parameter. A value of 1.0 indicates a perfect circle. As the value approaches 0.0, it indicates an increasingly elongated polygon. Values may not be valid for very small selections. The next option, count. Count is meaning that varies according to the measuring tool used, selection tool, and the number of discontinuous selection areas on the image, and count tool, by the way, the number of counted items on the image, and ruler tool, and the number of ruler lines visible from 1 or 2. And what about date and time? Date and time is meaning that applies a date and time stamp of when the measurement occurred. And what about document? Document is meaning that identifies the document file measured. And what about gray value? Gray value is meaning that this is measurement of brightness, either from 0 to 255 for 8-byte images, and from 0 to 32 and 768 for 16-byte images, or 0.0 to 10 for 32-byte images. For all gray values, by the way, related measurements, the image is internally converted to grayscale, equivalent to choosing image, then select mode, then select grayscale, using the default grayscale profile. And then the requested calculations, mean and median, and minimum and maximum, are calculated, by the way, for each feature and for the summary. What about height? Height is meaning that height of the selection, like y and minimum, like maximum y and minimum y, and in units according to the current measurement scale. And so what about histogram? Histogram is meaning that generates histogram data for each channel in the image, and 3 for RGB images, and 4 for CMYK, and so on. And recording the number of pixels at each value, by the way, from 0 to 255, 16-byte or 32-byte values are converted to 8-byte, by the way. And when you export data from the measurement log, the numeric histogram data is exported to a CSV and comma separated value file, and the file is placed, by the way, in its own folder at the same location where the measurement log tab delimited text file is exported. And the histogram files are assigned, by the way, a unique number, and starting at 0 and progressing by 1 for multiple selections measured at once. And one histogram file is generated for the total selected area, and plus additional histogram files for each selection. So what about integrated dynasty? What about integrated dynasty? By the way, the sum of the values of the pixels in the selection, this equivalent, by the way, to the product of area in pixels and mean gray value. So what's the meaning of label? Label is meaning that identifies and automatically numbers each measurement as measurement 1 and measurement 2 and so on for multiple selections measured simultaneously. Each selection is assigned as an additional feature, label and number. And what about length? Length is meaning linear distance defined by the ruler tool on the image in units according to the current measurement scale. And what about parameter? Parameter is meaning that the parameter of the selection for multiple selections measured at once. One measurement is generated for the total parameter of all selections, and plus additional measurements for each selection, by the way. And what about scale? Scale is meaning that the measurement scale of the source document, for example, 100 pixels equal 3 miles. And what about scale units? Scale units is meaning that logical units of the measurement scale. And what about scale factor? Scale factor is meaning the number of pixels assigned to the scale unit. And what about source? Source is meaning that source of the measurement ruler tool and count tool or selection. And what about width? Width is meaning width of the selection maximum x or minimum x in units according to the current measurement scale. How to create a data point preset? How to create a data point preset? We have steps. Step number 1. You should choose image firstly, then select analysis, then select data points, then select custom. Step number 2. You should select data points to include in the preset. Step number 3. Click Save Preset and name the preset. Step number 4. Click OK to execute, and the preset is saved actually, and is now available from the analysis, and then select data points submenu. How to edit a data point preset? How to edit data point preset? We have 4 steps again. Step number 1. Choose image firstly, then select analysis, then select data points, then select custom. Step number 2. choose the preset you want to edit from the preset menu. Step number 3. Select or deselect data points, and the preset name changes to custom. Step number 4. Click Save Preset, then enter the original preset name to replace the existing preset, or a new name to create a new preset. How to delete data point preset. How to delete data point preset. We have 4 steps again. Choose image, then choose analysis, then select data points, then select custom. Number 2. Choose the preset you want to delete from the preset menu. Number 3. Click delete preset, then yes to confirm the deletion. Number 4. Click OK to continue. How to use the measurement log. How to use the measurement log. By the way, when you measure an object, the measurement log panel records the measurement data. Each row in the log represents a measurement set, and columns represent the data points in a measurement set, by the way. And when you measure an object, a new row appears in the measurement log, by the way, and you can reorder columns in the log and sort data in columns and delete rows or columns or export data from the log to a comma delimited text file. How to display the measurement log. How to display the measurement log. You should do one of the following. You should choose image firstly, then select analysis, then select record measurements. After that, choose Windows, and then choose measurement log. How to select rows in the log. How to select rows in the log. Do one of the following again. You should click a row in the log to select it. After that, to select multiple continuous rows, you should click the first row and drag through additional rows, or click the first row and then shift click the last row. After that, to select non-continuous rows, you should click the first row and then control click if you use Windows, or command click if you use macOS. Additional rows. After that, to select all rows, click select all. And after that, to deselect all rows, deselect, click select to none. Select none. And what about select columns in the log? Select columns in the log. How to select columns in the log? Do one of the following again. You should click a column header firstly. Then to select continuous columns, click a column header and drag through additional columns, or click the first column header and then shift click the last column header. And after that, to select non-continuous columns, you should click the first column firstly header and then control click if you use Windows, or command click if you use macOS. Additional column headers. And how to reorder and resize or sort columns in the log. How to reorder or resize or sort columns in the log. You should do one of the following again. You should drag selected columns to reorder them in the log, and the column position is indicated by a double black line, by the way. And after that, to resize the column, click the column header and then drag the separator. And after that, to sort data in a column, you should click the column header to change the sort order, or right click the header and choose sort ascending or sort descending, and rows cannot be manually reordered, by the way. And how to delete rows or columns from the log. How to delete rows or columns from the log. We have 2 steps. Number 1, select one or more rows or columns in the log. Step number 2, do one of the following. You should choose delete from the measurement log options menu. After that, click the delete icon at the top of the panel. After that, right click in a row or column header and then select delete from the pop-up menu. And how to export measurement log data. How to export measurement log data. By the way, you can export data from the measurement log into a comma delimited text file, and you can open the text file, by the way, in a spreadsheet application and perform statistical or analytical calculations from the measurement data. We have 3 steps. Step number 1, select one or more rows or data in the log. Step number 2, choose export from the measurement log options menu. After that, click the export icon at the top of the panel. After that, right click in a row, then select export from the pop-up menu. Step number 3, enter a file name and location and click save. And after that, the measurements are exported, by the way, to a comma delimited UTF 8 text file.